If I gave you $10 million today, but tomorrow your health completely deteriorated and you're bedridden for the rest of your life, would you take it? Majority of you would say no. So that means that your health is more important to you than $10 million. But most of you don't treat it as such. You have one physical body that you are in on this earth. You have to treat it well. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Carys, and this is where we talk about how to elevate your life, unlock your full potential, and become the highest and best version of yourself. And today we're talking all things health, nutrition, and treating your body well. And before we continue, make sure you check out the links in the description below because you'll find things like my vlog channel, my audio podcast, Highest and Best, my Instagram, my TikTok, and all of those good things. Now, just in case you're wondering if I know what I'm talking about, I have a degree and a background in the health and fitness industry. I have studies in diets and nutrition and a whole lot of data research. If you want more videos in the health and fitness space, I love to talk about it, so make sure you let me know in the comments below. Number one, your water needs electrolytes in order to efficiently absorb into your body. Now, we all know drinking water is essential, but you need to make sure that it's actually being used and not just going right through you. Electrolytes like sodium, magnesium, and potassium help the water that you consume actually move into your cells so that it can be used. So you may be drinking your gallon of water per day. However, if you are not having, especially the sodium, in order for it to be absorbed, then a lot of it just goes right through you and isn't used. Now, what I will say here is please avoid a lot of the labeled sports electrolyte nutrition drinks like Gatorade. I'm sorry, but that drink is garbage. The other thing I want you to be very careful of is a lot of the electrolyte powders, because some of them are so incredibly high in sodium that they actually will dehydrate you at the same time. One of the ones that I actually love to use is Stir. It's a water enhancer, the squeezy ones you put into your drink, and it's created with natural flavorings. So it's not one of the ones that is artificial flavoring that you're literally just squeezing sugar and fake stuff into your water. I will leave it linked in the description below, so if you want to try it out, it's on Amazon. I love them. There's so many different flavors, ones with and ones without electrolytes. Another one to avoid that I used to use a lot, but I didn't realize how artificial it is Mio. And unfortunately, there's just stuff in there that you shouldn't be taking in. If you don't want to use a water enhancer and you just like the taste of plain water, use Celtic salt. Direct sodium, take a little pinch of it, put it under your tongue, and then chug your water. It sounds bad because we've all tried like salt water when you take it in from being knocked over by a wave in the ocean. It's not like that. You can barely even taste it. It's like you can kind of have the sensation of it in your mouth, but you don't actually taste the salt really. It's direct sodium. Just take it and it will help you absorb the water that you are drinking. Studies have shown that even mild dehydration can actually negatively affect your mood and even your memory. Something that I actually experienced most recently was I went to my OB because as of right now when I'm filming this, I am pregnant, and I was having a lot of headaches. They were bad. I would get up out of bed, off the couch, out of a chair, and I would feel like I was gonna pass out because my head was banging so hard and I felt dizzy. It was rough. The first thing that she guessed was my water and sodium balance were off. So she was explaining to me that you have a balance between the water and the sodium. What happens is that if you are having too much water and not enough sodium, the water is struggling to be used and absorbed by your body. However, if you are having too much sodium and not enough water, or maybe this much sodium, which is what I was doing, and water can barely catch up, you are getting dehydrated. And so you need that balance to be in a good flow. For me, what was happening is that I knew I needed electrolytes, but I was having too much. I've been drinking a lot more water since being pregnant, and I've just been squeezing away of my electrolytes. But I was having too much sodium and the sodium was then dehydrating me and my water couldn't catch up. And so you have to make sure you've got a good balance here. And so be cautious of how much sodium you're having compared to your water, and just be aware. But just know you need the electrolytes to help your body absorb the water efficiently, but just not too many. The second piece of health advice I have for you, and you probably know this one, and that is protein is crucial. Now, protein plays a critical role in muscle repair, in recovery, in growth, all of the things that you need in your body. It is a macronutrient. Without adequate protein, your body cannot build muscle after a workout. You will lose the muscle that you do have in your body. You need protein. Protein also helps to produce key hormones in your body that regulate metabolism, immune function, and overall wellness within you. Also, it is the most satiating macronutrient, which means that you can stay fuller for longer by consuming more protein. If you are on a weight loss journey and you are having your plate of dinner, lunch, breakfast, whatever, consume your protein first, carbs last. Now, one of the best tricks that I have learned for the high protein goal. For one, a lot of things that claim high protein are not actually high protein. One of the best tricks I have learned here to figure out if something is actually high protein, because a lot of things in the grocery store will say they are high protein and they're actually not, is the 1-to-10 ratio. What this means, you should have at least 1 gram of protein for every 10 calories of whatever you are eating. So for example, you're looking at a protein yogurt and it says high protein. You need to make sure that, say it's 100 calories, that there is at least 10 grams of protein in that yogurt. Once you're aware of this, you actually notice some things. I've seen high protein oatmeal before, and it's 250 calories for the pot, but then it's only 14 grams of protein. That's not high protein because it doesn't meet the 1-to-10 ratio. Now this leads me perfectly into number 3, which is to hack the grocery store. First things first, you need to make sure that you are sourcing your food from good places. Grass-fed meat, not the meat that's pumped with artificial stuff and preservatives and all of that. Grass-fed. Organic chicken. The bigger the breasts of chicken, not better, trust me. Unfortunately, many chickens are pumped with hormones and antibiotics so that they then are fatter, so that you get bigger breasts and more chicken for your dollar. Those are not the ones you want to be consuming. Organic. One thing to also note is in terms of your fruits and vegetables, there is the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. I will leave a picture of each of those on here so you can see what those are. But those are basically, the Dirty Dozen are the ones that you want to get organic because they're highly likely to be covered in pesticides and things that you do not want. And the Clean 15 are ones that you could get regular or organic, it's up to you. Next way to hack the grocery store is to only shop the perimeter. Once you're aware of this, it will blow your mind when you are going around the grocery store because all of them are laid out the same. You want to shop the perimeter. Typically, you will find the fruits and vegetables as you go up. Then typically you're gonna find the dairy, and then you're gonna find like the meats and the fish and all of that. That's what's typically on the perimeter of your grocery store. The bad stuff is usually down the aisles. The cookies, the candies, the pastas, the crackers. I don't know what else is down the aisles of a grocery store, but it's usually the stuff that you should not be having. The processed stuff, the artificial stuff. Yes, okay, I will go down an aisle to get a peanut butter or something like that, but typically you want to shop the perimeter. Next tip I have for the grocery store, it was something that I thought everybody did until I saw my husband picking stuff out of the grocery store. Pick from the back. The things at the front have the soonest expiration dates. The things at the back or at the bottom, those are the ones that are placed where they have the furthest away expiration date. So if you're getting a bag of lettuce, go rummage to the back of the shelf or at the bottom, because if you look at the expiration date, the ones that are furthest away are those ones at the back or at the bottom. So there's a little tip for you there in case you didn't already know. The last tip I have for the grocery store is to yucca everything. I'm saying yucca. My friend Marissa says yucca. Yucca, yucca. I'm gonna leave a little icon here for the app. It's a big carrot. Y-U-K-A. Not sponsored or anything. You have to download this app if you do not already have it. I use it all the time. Basically, you scan a label on a food, the barcode, and it will pull it up and it will tell you a score out of 100. Higher the score, better it is. Lower the score, you do not want it. It will help you just be more self-aware of the things that you are having. If it's high in calories, if it's high in the bad fats, if it's high in sodium, if it's got certain artificial things in it you do not want to be consuming. It will tell you all of that and break it down. Something that it also does that's really cool is it will also give you different brands and products, and it will give you alternatives for what that thing is. So if you've got something that you scan and it's given you a 22 out of 100, look down at the bottom and see what other options it suggested that are better for you. Yucca, download it, highly recommend. Number 4 is to avoid seed oils. Oh, seed oils are in everything. They're hidden in so much. You could go to a restaurant and have a A1 Wagyu steak and beautiful organic vegetables and all of this great, healthy, expensive stuff for your dinner. And then if it's cooked in canola oil, it's not gonna do you well. It's gonna mess your body up. Canola oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, corn oil, grapeseed oil, soybean oil, all of those different ones. If you need to, I'll leave a picture right here so you can look at the different oils that are not good for you. Try to avoid them. That is something that I always will look for on certain ingredients of things because it's hidden in so much. Something that I noticed a lot with was peanut butter. I only now will get peanut butter that is organic peanuts and salt. Like those are the only 2 ingredients and that's it. Because if you go through most peanut butters, they're palm oil, this oil, that oil, all in there. The oil helps it not to separate, but I'd rather give it a little stir and not consume the seed oil. The thing with seed oils is that they are extremely inflammatory in our body. They affect our brain, they affect our skin, they affect our system, and even our reproductive organs. The things with seed oils is that they are industrially processed. So it's not the original sunflower seed that's bad. It's the fact that when they get pressed, they are very gummy in consistency. And in order for it to be degummed, they have to use a neurotoxin to separate it all out. Then typically after that, they then process it even further because it may come out cloudy and they need to make it all clear. It just goes through so much processing, these seed oils, that by the time it comes to the shelf, it's terrible for you and it will wreak havoc on your internal body and your outside too. Just don't have them. Number 5, a common misconception I found over the years. Fats do not make you fat. I repeat, consuming fat does not make you fat. It is actually sugar that will make you fat. Now, one of the reasons why I think that people think that fats make you fat, I mean, probably because fat. That's probably a big reason. But the other reason is because fats are actually the highest caloric macronutrients. So every 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. So yes, it's caloric, but you need it. The good fats. Let me just rephrase that. You need the good fats, the healthy fats, avocados, nuts and seeds, Greek yogurt, extra virgin olive oil, whole milk, cottage cheese, things like that. Those are the good fats. You want those. Fats are needed for brain function, for nutrient absorption, for hormone regulation. It'll balance your stress levels. There are many great things that you need the good, healthy fats for. Also on this topic here, low fat things are not necessarily the best option. You're usually better to get organic or whole fat things rather than low fat, half fat, no fat, whatever fat. The next one here may be a little bit controversial, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And that is to avoid most fish. Take this with a grain of salt. I have a mother who is a pescatarian, so she eats fish a lot. But the thing is that many types of fish, especially the large ones, tuna, swordfish, things like that, they have a higher level of mercury, which can harm your nervous system and your overall health. You can get mercury poisoning. It's extremely dangerous. So if you are someone who eats fish, choose the smaller fish because they're less likely to have that high level of mercury. But unfortunately nowadays, a lot of fish have been proven they've actually got a lot of microplastics all within them as well. So you may be thinking that you're consuming good fish, but then they've got all this microplastics that you cannot see to the eye, obviously. But when they've done studies and they've looked under the microscopic glasses, they can see that it's all filled with microplastic because there's so much plastic in our oceans. I have not eaten fish in over 6 months, and even though that is a very good reason not to, one of the biggest reasons that stopped me from eating fish was because of the overfishing and the unsustainable fishing practices that are just damaging the ocean. There's this thing called bycatch, which is basically when they're doing these hauls collecting all the fish, where they will catch, which is called the bycatch, dolphins, sharks, sea turtles, seals. It's so sad. And what's crazy is that they actually pick up more of the bycatch than the actual fish that they are trying to get. And by the time they get it all onto the boat and sort through it all of the bycatch animals are dead, and they just throw them back in the ocean. It's so sad. If you want to actually learn a lot of this, if you find it interesting, watch the documentary Seaspiracy. It's on Netflix. That's literally, I watched that and saw all of the things going on that you just don't hear about, and literally that day stopped eating fish. It will completely change your perspective. One of the other things they actually show in this documentary is how most fish that you actually get in the grocery store is farmed. Actually, a lot of where they do this is in Scotland, which is where I actually grew up, which was kind of crazy to see. But they have these huge farms, and they're all the fish, like the salmon is really what is big in Scotland. And they have all these fish swimming about. And the problem with this is that when they're artificially farmed, they are in such close quarters that they get diseased and they get lice. Because of this, they basically churn them through these machines where the fish are heated and they're rinsed with chemicals like hydrogen peroxide in order to kill the disease and the lice that are in these fish. It's so gross. Most of the fish that you're buying in the grocery store is farmed. It's not typically caught out in the ocean. You can get wild caught fish, but it's hard because nowadays actually they found that wild caught fish contains the microplastics. So yes, they're not going through the whole chemical thing in the artificial farms, but they've been shown to have other issues. For me, the number one reason was just the fact that the oceans are getting so incredibly damaged, but take with that what you will. Like I said, some people will agree with me, some people won't. It's up to you, obviously. If you are someone who eats a lot of salmon, I highly recommend to choose the wild caught, just because on top of everything else, the regular salmon that you buy in stores is actually colored. And so they pump this like coloring into it to make it that orange pink color, but it's all fake. The last thing I will say on this topic is if you are someone who thinks, oh, well, you need the fish for your omega-3 fatty acids, you don't. The thing is, fish actually get their omega-3 from algae. And so if you just skip the fish and go straight to the source, you can get your omega-3s from algae oil. So for me, ever since I stopped eating fish, I started taking an algae supplement, and it has DHA in it as well. I also do personally take choline. It's one of the other things that they say can be in fish. It helps with brain development. I started taking it when I stopped eating fish, and then also I'm growing a baby with the brain, so any extra brain development help, I'll take it. Number 7, some of the best health advice that I can give you is whole foods. are incredibly important. They are your main goal. God gifted us with such incredible whole food sources. And over the years, as culture has developed, we feel the need to just process and change everything. The thing is, the more processed it gets, it loses its nutrient efficiency. And then along the processing journey, it also has more and more things added to it, preservatives and colorings and this and that. It's so unnecessary. Over the last 2 months, probably, I've been having a animal-based diet where I have a full video on my animal-based grocery shopping and meals. So you can see that as well after this one. I plan to soon change into more of just a whole foods, high protein diet. But no matter what your diet is, your meals that you like to have, whole foods are your main goal. Your skin will be better, you won't be bloated, your hormones will be more balanced, you'll have less cravings, you'll have better sleep. Processed food is directly correlated and linked to cancers and cardiovascular diseases and many other issues that you can get with your health and well-being. Ingredients on foods have just changed so much as we've gone over the decades, years even so. There are many things. If you can't already tell and you're new to this channel, I'm not from America. I was raised in the UK, and coming over here, I noticed that the ingredients lists on foods have become longer and longer. I remember I saw a graphic that has to do with this. It's very powerful. I'll leave it right here, with McDonald's French fries and how people say, oh, well, we used to eat that and we were fine. And basically one side it has the ingredients of McDonald's French fries way back when, and it was potatoes, salt, and like beef tallow. And then the other side, it's the ingredient list of McDonald's fries now, and it's like long. It's just happened over the years, over, you know, things being added, preservatives and everything else. People want things to taste better and last longer, and that's why I say whole foods is your main goal, because just eat it how it comes. It's the best way to do it, and your body will thank you for it. If you can't pronounce something on an ingredient list, you probably shouldn't be consuming it. Your body is the one place on earth that you have to live. Take care of it. Please take some of these pieces of advice, I hope, and you'll be thankful for it. Let me know in the comments down below what stuck out to you in this video. What one thing did you maybe learn? I would love to hear that. And if you want more videos like this, then let me know. If you haven't already watched the fitness version of this, I will leave that linked in the description below as well. And if you enjoyed this video, then you'll probably enjoy this one next. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.